Luka Doncic has just been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in what has to be the most shocking trade in sports history. It truly is uncomparable. And not only will the Lakers be receiving a 25-year-old superstar just reaching his prime, a guy who took his team to the NBA Finals less than a year ago, future Hall of Famer, future MVP, but they will also be getting some much-needed big man help in Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris. And if you're wondering what the Lakers had to give up to get a guy like Luka Doncic, well, of course, that meant that Anthony Davis was out the door. Not only will Anthony Davis be heading to the Dallas Mavericks, but so will Max Christie and a 2029 first-round pick. Now, those weren't the only teams involved in the trade. Of course, the Utah Jazz were also in the deal, as they will be receiving terrorist Jalen Hood-Schifino, 2025 second-round pick from the Clippers, and a 2025 second-round pick from the Dallas Mavericks. Now, if early reports are to be believed true, then it's said that the Mavericks were the ones to call the Lakers phone and offer up a deal. And of course, when you're getting offered Luka Doncic and you're in the Lakers' position, you're going to accept. It doesn't matter how high the asking price is for Luka Doncic, you're gonna make the deal happen. And that's exactly what went down here. And if you're wondering why the Mavericks wanted to move on from Luka Doncic, even though he's in the midst of his prime, even though he took this team to the NBA Finals, well, it's rumored that the Mavericks organization didn't want to give Luka Doncic the 5-year supermax worth $345 million that he had just become eligible for. And of course, if you're in Luka Doncic's shoes, you're gonna take that deal. Who turns down $345 million? He can't make that type of money anywhere else throughout the league. But of course, the team had a multitude of major concerns as to why they didn't want to pay him, with the biggest being his constant conditioning issues. Sources told David McMahon that there had been significant frustration within the organization about Luka's lack of discipline regarding his diet and conditioning. It turns out the whole time that Luka Doncic was just another Zion Williamson with better injury luck and a bit more raw talent. Yeah, the man has had trouble staying healthy in the past, but for the most part, he would go out and get the job done. And now we will be seeing him play alongside LeBron James. Do I think this is a win-win for both sides? Absolutely, because this sets up the Lakers for the future. Of course, I know Anthony Davis was great, but he is 31 years old, whereas Luka Doncic is 25. And when LeBron retires in the next 2 to 3 years, Luka is going to carry the mantle. However, do we know when LeBron is going to retire? No idea. I think the man might play for an extra 1 or 2 years after this trade is made, because I can see LeBron winning his 7th ring with Luka Doncic. That's right, they might just three-peat, who knows. What does this mean for LeBron's legacy? Absolutely everything. And if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't think you should have any of the concerns that the Mavericks did about Luka Doncic, because what this deal did was like the biggest possible flame under Luka. This may have been the biggest FU move an organization has ever made to their superstar, because what the Mavs just did was tell Luka right to his face that we don't care that you took us to an NBA Finals just last season. We are not going to let you boss us around. We are going to get rid of you if you won't cooperate. And that's what happened. I don't think Luka expected this trade to go down. I know Anthony Davis didn't see this deal coming. Hell, news just broke that LeBron had no idea that Anthony Davis talks were even in the works. He found out on the TV through his phone, just like the rest of us. I don't even think that Shams knew that this trade was a possibility up until a few minutes before he had to break the news to the rest of the world. And if we were to take a look at this from the Mavericks perspective, I do think that it helps the team right now, because I feel as though the duo of Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving does give them a better chance in the West. Honestly, the Mavs were the 9th seed, and even though they were 3 games above 500, do I think they were going to win a championship this year? Absolutely not. I think that they had one great season a year ago, but I don't think that it was going to work out for them, especially not in the playoffs. However, when you acquire a guy like Anthony Davis to the team, he is going to be magic with Kyrie. Of course, how do the fans feel about this? I'm sure every Mavericks fan is in absolute shambles because, like I mentioned, while Anthony Davis is great, he's 31 years old, while Luka is 25 and was supposed to be the face of your franchise. That's not happening anymore. And it's said that Mavs general manager Nico Harrison, who might just be the most hated man in Texas right now, came out and told ESPN's McMahon that his motivation for trading Doncic for Davis is that he believed that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA kind of player with a defensive mindset gives them a better chance at winning. We're built to win now and in the future. So of course, Luka does have a few weaknesses, and they are on the defensive end, along with apparently not being able to stay in good shape, whereas I do think it's the exact opposite for Anthony Davis. Sure, Anthony Davis has dealt with plenty of injuries in the past, but more recently, he hasn't been called Street Clothes Davis anymore because he's done a great job at staying healthy. Just this season, Anthony Davis has gone out and only missed 5 games for the Lakers while we're approaching the 50-game mark, which is, I'm sure, more than the organization could have hoped for. Hell, a year ago, he played 76 games. And in the 40-plus games that he's played for the Lakers this season, he's gone out and averaged 25.7 points, 2 blocks a night, while only having 2 turnovers, 1.3 steals, 3.4 assists, 11.9 rebounds, while also shooting 52% from the field and 29% from the 3. But the three-pointer isn't even Anthony Davis's job. And I also think that maybe Anthony Davis wanted to move because he had just come out and talked to Shams about not wanting to play center anymore. He made it very clear to the Lakers organization he doesn't want to play center. He plays best at power forward. So the Lakers said, well, you can go play power forward with the Dallas Mavericks because they have Derek Lively. Of course, I don't think that's what Anthony Davis had in mind when he had suggested that the Lakers stop making him play center. I'm sure he hoped for the Lakers to bring in a guy like Valanciunas or another big man, maybe Walker Kessler. Those deals aren't happening, but what is going to happen is that you will see Anthony Davis suited up in a Dallas Mavericks jersey very soon. And talking about doing something soon, you guys should slow down, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000. This is breaking news here. I'm covering it. I think that this, deserves a like or a subscription. Who knows? Your choice. All right, now let's get back to talking about Anthony Davis. Now, does Anthony Davis stay with the Mavericks long term? I don't really know where his headspace is at, but honestly, the situation isn't even that bad for him out there in Dallas. Because yes, are they at the bottom half of the Western Conference? Of course. However, one good winning streak and they could find themselves in the playoffs. They may even go up against the Los Angeles Lakers. That would be absolute cinema. And will Anthony Davis have trust issues for the rest of his life going past his playing career? Probably. But Anthony Davis understands better than most that the NBA is a business. He forced himself out of New Orleans. He forced the team to trade him. So this time, it's kind of like roles have been reversed and the team is forcing him out. Now, do I think the Lakers wanted to trade Anthony Davis? Of course not. But when a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity falls in your lap like this one, you have to take it. Rob Pelinka probably felt like a little boy on Christmas Day when the Mavs GM came calling and telling them that they wanted to trade Luka. Obviously, this wasn't a situation where the Mavericks went around and let everybody know that Luka was available. No, they clearly wanted a guy. They had Anthony Davis in mind, and they went out and got him. Do I think the Mavericks could have got more for a guy like Luka Doncic? Of course, they did get Anthony Davis, but they also only got one of the Lakers' future first-round picks, which means that the Lakers could probably make more moves before the deadline. And I think when you make a trade as big as this one to your roster, you're going to have to make more moves. I don't think Rob Pelinka is done cooking yet. You can mark my words on that one. But anyway, I think I've covered everything I've wanted to about this amazing trade. This will go down as one of the best trades of all time, and this makes up for the Lakers not getting Chris Paul more than a decade ago. I think this more than makes up for the NBA robbing them of not getting Chris Paul. This time they get Luka Doncic, and guess what? Adam Silver is cool with it. Great job, Adam Silver. Sure, you may have some terrible suggestions about how to make the game better, but honestly, you're gonna let this trade go through? I'm all for it. But like I said, that's about it. So I'll catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.